The governor of Ondo State, Olusegun Agagu, has finally been buried at his hometown in Ijuodo, Okitipupa local government area. Earlier in the day, a funeral service was held at the St. Paul's Anglican Church in Ijuodo. In attendance were his wife, other immediate family members, former governors Alawa Kala of Oyo State, Segun Oni of Ekiti State, and Benga Daniel of Ogun State. The officiating reverend and bishop of the diocese on the post, Anglican Communion, the Right Reverend Ebu Ogunle, asked everyone present to always live a life worthy of emulation. He says only God can determine the length of time one will live on earth and when the journey will be terminated. He also prayed for all those who lost their lives in the Associated Airlines crash. The President, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, was represented at the funeral service by the Police Affairs Minister, Caleb Olubolade. Governor Agagu was laid to rest on the grounds of the Anglican Cemetery in Ijuodo at about 4 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Lagos State government says it will conduct a DNA test to identify the 13 bodies that were burnt beyond recognition. Speaking with journalists shortly after visiting survivors at the surgical emergency ward of the Lagos State Teaching Hospital, LASUTH, the Lagos State Deputy Governor, Mrs. Adijoke Orelokwe-Adefulire, said that the state government has 13 charred bodies and 7 survivors in its custody. She's asking people whose relatives traveled in the ill-fated aircraft to come to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital for the DNA test process to identify the victims. The Edo State Governor Adams Oshomole is questioning the state of the federal government's account, saying that he suspects that the government is broke. Well, the governor's concerns are based on the alleged inability of the federal government to release allocations due to the state. And this, according to Governor Oshomole, is happening for the first time since 1999. The governor accused the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC, of failing to pay 2.3 trillion naira into the Federation account.
Interaction between the executive arm of government and the media is fast becoming the norm and a very easy way of reaching out to the populace. Before now, the popular one is the presidential media chat, but it seems to be replicated by the state governors.
With us in the studio from Channels Television, Peter Okonkwo.
The latest being the Edo State Governor, who spoke to journalists in Benin City, the state capital.
We have attained the promise, whether the vision has been realized.
The governor began by speaking on the challenges in running the state in the south-south region of Nigeria.
Even though we haven't fixed all the problem, we are giving the Edo person that confidence that he's in charge of his own affairs. And much more importantly, that, all of us in Osadebe Avenue, we are tenants. And our security of tenure is in the hands of the Edo people, no longer in the hands of any godfather. That for me is particularly important.
But more importantly is the financial state of the country, and the take of the governor on it is that Nigeria has not done well at all. The governor continually lashed out at the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC, for not paying into the Federation account a sum of 2.3 trillion naira.
I don't know if the federal government is broke, because I'm not in their treasury, but I know that a serious crisis that is unprecedented in the history of this country. That for the first time since 1999, the federal government is unable to fund the Federation account.
He also talked about reports on the theft of barrels of crude oil.
The explanation by NNPC is completely watery. They collect 455,000 barrels per day, ostensibly for domestic refinery. But they also agree that the refineries are not working. At the very best, they do not refine more than 100,000 a day. So the question is, what are you doing with the balance? And okay, whether you refine, you didn't, where is the money? And from some of the figures that have been thrown around, NNPC is owing the Federation account over 2.3 or so trillion naira. Edo State has a share of that amount.
The governor wants genuine commitment from the federal authorities about making things better for the populace. And one major way of showing this is by providing for the states to enable the governors run their business.
Now, following a new video posted online claiming that Abubakar Shekau, the leader of the militant group Boko Haram, is still alive, the Nigerian army has launched an investigation to ascertain the authenticity of the claims. A briefing journalist in Abuja, the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Ibrahim Atahiru, said experts have been engaged to examine the video and determine its authenticity or otherwise. Our correspondent, Amaka Okafo, reports.
A security task force spokesman in August said wanted Islamic insurgent commander Abubakar Shekau may have died from a gunshot wound after a clash with soldiers on June 30. However, in a video posted online recently, a man resembling past images of Shekau taunted the regional military spokesman who suggested he had been killed. This has raised questions over the claims that the Islamic leader is dead after all. The Nigerian army, however, says investigations have been launched to verify the authenticity of the video.
The issue of whether Shekau is alive or dead, I want to reconfirm here that we need that to authenticate in order to verify the videos released by Shekau. This verification is going to be done by various sources. There are technical sources that are going to look at the video, the authenticity of it or otherwise. And there are also major sources that are going to feed us back to tell us whether this man is indeed alive. So it's still in an investigative process, and no sooner we get the information, we will let you know.
Away from the Shekau video, the army says it has commenced an offensive operations aimed at apprehending the culprits behind the gruesome murder of over 40 students of the College of Agriculture in Yobe State and other communities in Yobe. The army, however, says it cannot work alone without the support of locals in identifying suspicious persons in their various community to forestall future attacks.
Basically, you do not expect the military to man each and every house everywhere. The war against terror or insurgency, counterinsurgency operation requires the entire effort of both populace and government. So if the local populace will be able to provide good enough information to the military, be rest assured they can come after those.
The military claims there has been an improvement in the general security arrangement in the northeastern part of the country in a bid to nip the insurgents in the bud, a claim Nigerians hope will be fulfilled within the shortest possible time. Amaka Okafo, Channels Television News.
Mr. Talking security, where the Kogi State Police Command has arrested a 4-man armed robbery gang in connection with a robbery on a bank in the Ajaokuta area of the state. The acting commissioner of police, Mr. Austin Ebababukun, told journalists that the gang had attacked the bank at about 6:45 p.m. before they were ambushed by men of the police. 2 members of the gang and a policeman died during a gun battle. The police also arrested a suspected car snatcher and a 53-year-old father who is purported to have been sleeping with his daughters.
They attacked the bank, blew the security door with an ID, hard entry. But unfortunately for them, the men we put there as an ambush squad now engaged them, fire for fire. Unfortunately, we lost one police corporal, which may so rest in peace. Secondly, we also have another case of criminal conspiracy and armed robbery. And the suspect is one Yunusa Kadiri. We had the SB recovered from him a registered Honda Accord car, LG color television, 2 Tamapon fans, HP laptop, 1 stabilizer, 1 decoder, 1 DVD player, and the speaker, 1 diary, and 1 mask. It's a major breakthrough. Only this will give us a relief in the command and the state and the adjoining states.
When Newstrack returns, so the Inter-Party Advisory Council has a meeting or takes a meeting in, or has its meeting in the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, and it wants the federal government not to entertain certain issues at the proposed national conference. Find out what these issues are after this. We'll be right back.